There's a high cost to every creative decision you don't make. And most creators are paying for it, whether they realize it or not. What is this high cost I'm talking about? It's called overthinking, my creator friend. That's right, it's called overthinking. And in today's episode, we're going to dig deep into what overthinking may be costing you. And it may be higher, it may be a little bit more expensive than you think. Okay. If we haven't met before, my name is Ozeal, and I am the host who loves you the most. I want to welcome you to the Creator Factor podcast. If this is your first time checking out the show, welcome. This is a podcast for business-minded content creators like you who are building and scaling their influence through content creation, marketing, branding. You're building your platform online. You're building your personal brand, and this is the show where we're going to help you. We're going to talk a lot about the topics of mindset, talk about the importance of branding and marketing yourself. And if you go back to the archive, there are episodes, that are interviews with some of the most top rated, high level content creators who are successful at doing what we're building right now, which is building a brand through our passion for content creation and marketing and building community. So I highly recommend go check it out on Apple, on Spotify. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can check it out on there as well. All right, let's dig into this, because I've been thinking a lot lately about this topic. And I talk to way too many content creators who are sitting on great ideas, and they're coming to me with, these ideas of like, yo, I got this idea. Nobody has this idea, You may or may not be one of those. This is brain. This is just a game changer. They're sitting on it, but yet they're paralyzed by the questions of, am I good enough? What if no one watches or listens? What if this message or this product or service doesn't land with people? What if I'm just not ready to be able to do this? I got this great idea, but what if I'm not ready for it just yet? Maybe I'll just postpone it for a few more years until I got all the bells and whistles and have all this thing figured out. I hear it all too often, and I get it. I've been there too. I definitely am one who naturally overthinks a lot. And it's simply on my end, I'm an overthinker because I want things to be perfect. I want things to be polished and look good and sound good. And I want all those things, right? Because you look at your competitors and you start thinking about, okay, they're doing it. Maybe I need to wait until I got that dialed in so I can compete at their level. But remember that, you can't compare yourself up. You have to only compare yourself down. If you always compare yourself up, you're always going to lose. And overthinking is a plague, and it feels productive. It feels like you're on the right track, and it makes sense because it's planning. And it's like great things come from great planning, right? But I'm here to let you know that all that is fear in disguise. When you're waiting for the perfect moment, you're giving yourself an excuse and permission to hide. Hide from the hard work, hide from the potential, the possibility of you succeeding. It's hiding your best work, and that is selfish. And it's never the track record to success. It's never going to get you to success, period. So one of the things that I want to share with you is that, I've been in this situation before where I've thought about publishing this perfect video on YouTube or launching this YouTube, which took me forever to do. And, thinking of like, okay, I'm going to just make sure that I have all the cameras and, I'm a podcaster, I'm an audio podcaster. This is not what I do. Let me wait until perfect lands right on my lap. And guess what? Guess, you're right. It never happened. That perfect moment never happened. And if you are one that overthinks, you're going to be plagued by this. This is always going to be the bottleneck between what you want to do and you want to share with the world and everything else that really doesn't matter. I'm going to share with you what it's costing you. What are you actually losing simply because you're overthinking this? Number one is momentum. You lose speed and rhythm and momentum. You just overthinking, you may have this idea, but because you're overthinking, you just lose that flow. And next thing you know, it's more planning, more going down the rabbit hole. Can you relate to that? And then you just never launch the thing. It's costing you. The second thing that it's costing you, and I know this all too well, is your confidence. It's costing you your confidence, my friend. I've learned that the more you delay, the more you allow doubt to crush that idea. Let me repeat that. The more you delay, the more doubt crushes your idea. it sends it to the grave. And I read one time a quote. It says that the best ideas, what is it? Something along the lines of like how planning is the graveyard of all the greatest ideas. It is not to say that planning isn't bad. Okay. I'm one who likes to plan. Planning isn't bad, but when it comes to launching ideas, the intangible to the tangible, these ideas, it's sometimes better just to put them out there, just to get dirty and put it out and see what happens. It'll show you a lot of things, and it'll also sometimes highlight the thing that you want. If it really, it'll test you on if you really want it, and it'll also highlight the things that you don't want to do. Okay, it may not feel right after you launch it, and then that's good data, right? Data is feedback, and without feedback, you can't learn or fail and get back up and do other things. So confidence. The third thing is opportunities. Okay, the more you wait, the more you overthink. Think about this. You're allowing other potential collaborations, brand deals, money, other opportunities pass you by simply because you're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. Last year, I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and he was like, "I want to launch a podcast." I was like, "Awesome, man!" And he was showing me like his artwork, and he was going on and on and on about it. Right, 6 months later, he's still tweaking the website, tweaking the artwork, constantly just tweaking. And I was like, "Yo, where are you at with this? Like, this was a pretty, great idea for a podcast. Like, where are you at?" And he's like, it's, I'm going to record, I'm going to record the first episode. Mind you, this was like 6-7 months after all of it. And here's the thing that got me: that the website was like not really all that great. I mean, no disrespect, but it wasn't. I mean, it was very bare minimal, and everything else just was really, in my eyes, consulting. I was very incomplete. And I'm like, yeah, you spent 6 months not doing anything. Meanwhile, he didn't launch episode 1. And I saw another creator around that time launch a podcast, and it was a really simple setup. It was a very simple setup that I kind of have right now, right? And it's really simple. It's USB mic, direct into the laptop, webcam, very simple. He launched it. It was messy. It was ugly in the beginning. And then next thing you know, he started like growing an audience, and people started engaging with his content. And then he started talking about building an email list and a community. And I got to see the difference between one making imperfect moves, and the other one just thinking about making a move. And it was hard. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because I see a lot of creators who just think their way into not doing anything at all. You can't think your way into clarity. You have to move your way into it. Let me repeat that. You can't think your way into clarity. You have to move your way into it. That's how you build a brand. That's how you make things happen, and how you really make change with the art that you're putting out. So this creator trap is just far too familiar with me. And again, I have empathy, but I can't have too much sympathy for creators who are constantly in this cyclical mindset of like, I got to be perfect. And I see it every week. Creators trying to perfect something that no one has ever seen. They're trapped in what I call the creative procrastination mode. They're just constantly just stagnated by their false sense of what perfect is. So that's the creator trap. They just never publish. They never ship art. They're always tweaking websites, always tweaking copy, always tweaking offers, always tweaking, thinking, planning, researching, going on YouTube, listening to more podcasts, consuming more, all that. Is that landing with you? So I'm here to give you permission to just stop overthinking it and just do the thing. Do it. Decide how to act faster. That's one thing that I've tried to embrace this practice. Like, give yourself 24 hours to just make a creative decision and move forward. Ship imperfectly. Like, just ship the thing. Just focus on publishing. Publish something. You got your my phone here. But, point to face camera, record, get a webcam. You got a webcam on laptops these days, decent ones. Record yourself. Don't worry about being polished and perfect. Ship it. If you got some money in your account, you want to make a decision, get a coach. Find a coach who can help you ship the thing, who put the pieces together. If it's a great coach, they'll listen to your budget. They'll listen and pay attention to your mindset, and they'll put something together that's not overwhelming, that allows you to ship the thing. And then you reflect after, right? Reflect after. Don't do that before. Don't be like, hey, this could be this, and then this. I have a friend that would paint a beautiful picture of all the things she wanted to do. Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to speak and all this reflection and dreaming. And all of it sounded great. And definitely she has the potential to do it all. But it was too much reflection on perfection. And I'm like, we need execution. We need implementation, not more information. So you don't need clarity to start. And this is coming from a guy who really believes in, I have a method called the BAM method. And I believe that you should dial in your brand. But for us, sometimes overthinkers, it's just okay to just start. I'm also okay with that. Okay. Got some money, definitely invest in a coach that can help you get there. But if you don't, start. Okay. You just need to take action to create clarity. Let me repeat that. You just need to take action and that will create clarity. All right. So that's something. So you don't need no permission. You don't need more thinking time. You just need more reps. You need more reps, period. Okay. And yeah, I've been thinking a lot about this because I've been also getting caught up in this loop of overthinking as well. And, I have to remind myself all the time that, clarity is a byproduct of taking action. And when I think about what I did to launch this particular podcast and the YouTube channel, or to restart the podcast as well, or the YouTube channel rather, I was doing a lot of overthinking. I'm like, you know what, just press record, do your thing. Don't worry about the views. Don't worry about the metrics. Don't just do the thing. And it felt good. It felt good just to ship. It felt really, really good just to have something published. And then at the end of the day, like, that's our job as creators, right? It's just to be able to press record and share it regardless of what others think. Then later on, 100 episodes plus, then you can go back and be like, okay, what do I need to tweak now? Now you could tweak. Publish first, tweak later. There should be a t-shirt. Publish first, tweak later. All right, my creator fan, hopefully this was helpful. I'm going to close this out. Again, make it happen. Clarity comes through action. Publish your content. If you need help getting stuck, if you need clarity and you would like to invest in yourself, I do have a 14-day podcast intensive. This is it's for podcasters, but I also offer coaching for content creators. So if you are looking to start a YouTube channel, or you're just looking to build a brand online, reach out to me. I'll make sure that I'll link it up in the show notes. It's my Stand store, and we can book a call to talk about it. And I'm here to help. I'm here to help you. This is the mission behind Creator Factor and everything that I do as a coach, is to help you get unstuck and without the overwhelm, without the overthinking, and get you to a place where you're building a brand that's profitable and you're building influence with your community. That's it. Thanks again for checking out the podcast and watching this on YouTube. Till next time, peace and one love. Stop.